How you going? Jason Andrew here, and in today's session, I'm going to share with you some really great information. I want to share with you some public information available on the APRA website. And hey, everybody, Jason Andrew here, and it's great to be here today. In today's session, I am going to be sharing with you some really great information, some public information that's available on the APRA website. And what I want to do with that is show you how you can go in and find out all this information that might be useful for yourself. But it's something I came across yesterday, which is why I just sort of delayed my post yesterday, because I just wanted to double check that it was right, and it was quite interesting to see the growth in cash. So what I'm going to in this session just facilitate, just going to share with you the screen. Then I'm going to go you through this information about cash and savings and how much it's grown. And I want to ask you whether you're a part of this. And then at the end of this short video, short live, I'm just going to introduce you to the newly launched Cashflow ebook, which we have just launched. And I just want to share that with you and show you how you can get that for free. So here we go. Now, just going to be sharing I'm going to share this screen. So for those of you who do not know, the APRA is a government web. It's the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, and they are the organisation that actually supervises banks and superannuation and financial services and insurance. And so what is really cool about this is that with all the data information these days, they have to get mandatory reporting from banks, and they've got it. If you go in and if you like data like I do, I know it can be a little bit boring for some, but you can come in and get all these really cool statistics and publications and economic and financial statistics and business reporting. And the one that I want to share with you today is here, and it's called the Monthly Authorised Deposit Taking Institution Statistics. So this is what all the banks report through into APRA, and they share with the organisation their deposits, their accounts, and how much they've got in their bank in loans outstanding, etc. So why this is interesting is because as a financial advisor, I was always interested to see what people were doing with their money and how much was actually in savings. And it's quite a lot when you have a look and see what's actually about where the money is. So when you click on this, so this is the monthly statistics for August, for example. So I've done this previously just to make sure it doesn't pause the video for too long. But I'm going to take you back into to the train of thought of what led me to do this post today. So I've been tracking this since over a year. So since I sold my financial planning business last year, I started tracking to see also how this was going on a growth level. And what this spreadsheet shows you here that you can see, and it shows you deposits on Australian books of selected individual ADIs. ADIs is approved deposit institutions, which is basically a bank, right? So what this shows you is how much money in Australian households that are invested or just in bank accounts, in cash, primarily term deposits. So for example here, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and it's probably, let me just make that a bit bigger for you. Commonwealth Bank of Australia, you can see here that at the end of 2019, which is September 2019, there was $260 billion sitting in term deposits and cash inside the CBA. So if you scroll down the bottom here, it gives you a total, and this is $973 billion that was invested. So almost $1 trillion in September last year sitting in cash deposits. So what's interesting about this is watching the growth. Okay, so when I went in and had a look and grabbed up the March figures, it's March, yep, good, that worked out well. When I grabbed the March figures, you can see that's come up to $998 billion in total. So that's about $25 billion in total that has grown over that 6 months just before COVID, right? And what that represents is it's about $4 billion a month or just over. And when you have a look and see how many working Australians there are, so just it's pretty readily available information out there. There's about 12.57 million working Aussies. So what that means is, on average, working Australians were able to save about $318 a month up until March. So, it's not really going to give you the super lifestyle you're probably expecting. But on average, obviously, a lot of people don't do a lot more and some people struggle. And so $318 a month. Then what I did was I clicked that link and I downloaded the August figures because the September ones aren't out. And then if you have a look and see here, I'm going to bring them up now. August. What do you think? So if you think about this, in the 6 months up until September to March, there was 25 billion. So that's 4 billion a month. Now I was only able to get the last 5 months, so until August, so April, May, June, July, August. And the actual total is, if I can get it up for you, is here. Look at that, guys. That is $1 trillion and $72 billion. So this is in millions up there. So 1.72 billion. So what that means is over that time frame, there has been an increase of 74 billion in 5 months in cash, just sitting on Australian bank accounts, sitting in term deposits or in cash. And what that means is that on average, so if everybody, like working Australians, 12.57 million, on average, they've been able to save about $1,177 a month. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So that's gone up quite significantly. So I've done a little, I'm pretty good with PowerPoints, but I thought I'd make it easier for you, but it's having everything on the one screen here. So let's just recap those figures. From September 29 to March 2020, $25 billion in deposits. It's $4 billion a month. That's 318 per working Australian, 12.57 million working Australians. So in the 5 months that we've been inside COVID, then what you can see here is that, up until August, is the April to August, 74 billion growth. That's 14.8 billion a month. That's 3.7 times increase in deposits, 1,177 per working Australia. At the same time, unemployment's actually decreased. So I've got the, you can get that on, anyone can Google this. So it's not really that, it's got here the unemployment rates, 6.8. And this comes from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS. So that's actually a decrease down from 7.5% in July, the period beforehand. So what's happening out there right now is that there are some jobs that people are working, and JobKeeper's been able to keep people still getting an income, and our spending has decreased a little bit. So I just want to ask you whether this is true for you, because have you increased your savings by about $860 a month? Have you? Is that really you? Have you actually? I know we've decreased ours a little bit, but I got to tell you, we get a courier knocking on our door at least 2 times a day. We haven't stopped on the spending piece, so it's really interesting. I do not know where that money is. Who's doing all the saving out there? Who is saved 3.7 times more than what they used to before COVID? It's alarming. So it's coming from somewhere. If it is you, then congratulations. And you've got an opportunity now to try and maintain that kind of a habit that you have been going through in post-COVID, so that you can still continue saving. Because let's face it, once the world starts opening up, and hopefully sooner rather than later, the spending habit's going to be coming on board a lot more. We're going to be going out more, probably even more so, because we want to support local business. So I'll be spending hard on the restaurants, cafes, pubs, etc., the local stores. So that's going to come back up. But what's going to happen is that's going to have an impact on the savings that you've accumulated so far. So you need to start keeping those habits so that you can continue them moving forward and have real dramatic impacts on your savings and cash flow. If it's not you, then that's not uncommon, because even before COVID, 59% of Australians admitted that their financial situation caused them angst. And in fact, 86% said they did not know where their money went every month. And as well as that, about a third of Australians were embarrassed about their spending habits. So if you are in financial stress and financial angst, and not one of those people that have managed to accumulate doing at least 3.7 times more in their spending, then don't worry. More than half of Australians apparently more than half of working Australians apparently unable to survive for a month without a salary, and 2 million actually living day to day. So the JobKeeper's been good in keeping the economy afloat at the moment, but once that sort of wanes off, what's going to happen? And now's the time that you really need to start to be thinking and getting your right habits in place in order to maintain that savings capability or wrap it up. And if you are stressed, a lot of the times the reasons why people don't save, and as an ex-financial advisor, I've seen this a lot, and also guilty of it myself, is that you just don't want to go without. You just love life. You need to have a life, right? So when I started my business last year, and I was building up my new business, which is a website called Impact Savings to help people with their cash flow. I also wanted to do something that made things very simple and easy for people so that they could get a better understanding on the steps they could take towards starting to save and breathe easy when it comes to them thinking about their money. And what I did was I've created that website, which is available. But what I wanted to share with you today, at impactsavings.com, what I want to share with you today is the ebook that we've created that I want to give away for free to as many people as I can. So here it is here on your screen that you can see. And this ebook, it's called The Cashflow Breakthrough. And you know, when I think about trying to break habits, it's really hard to stop people from doing what they love. So come up with a little system here about how to break the living payday to payday cycle and still have a life, because that's really important. And what I've done here is I've identified 5 key essential strategies that you can take to just start making a difference and start having an impact on your life. And it'll take small steps. And what this isn't, it's not a crash course diet, and it's not something that you've got to go out to and live like a pauper. It just gives you some insights on what you can do within your cash flow. It comes through my years of experience as an advisor. I've been 23 years in the financial services industry and through servicing hundreds of clients around Australia. And it's just some little key insights in there which you can implement into your life pretty easily from today. So I'd encourage you to go into funmoney.me. So not .com.au, just funmoney.me. There's a link to it in the description of this this video, and download your free copy. Now, you're going to go through to another page where we get introduced to lots of other concepts and other ideas and offers. And I'd encourage you to take those up as well, because what I really wanted to do was just get this out there and share this with as many people as I can. Having been an advisor and saying no to people who needed help, that was one of the hardest things. People come up to me, but they just could not afford our service because, advice costs a lot to deliver. So we had to have a higher price range. But now I'm really excited to be able to give this out for free as a starting point and take it on board and have a look at the other offers on the other side of that page, but get this one for free. And then if you have anything else, just drop some comments, and I really look forward to being of service to you and seeing you at the next one. And if you're saving, awesome. If you're not, get onto this book, because it's going to be a life changer. Okay, thanks guys, and enjoy the evening. I'll see you at the next one. See you on that book.